Let me know if you can. Someone give me. Well, when some people join, I will start talk pinging for sound. Hopefully, it's all working well. Um, just leaving Dodger Stadium right now, so traffic's terrible, and that's okay. We will survive that, hopefully. And Dodger celebration it was wonderful. I thought it was wonderful. Nothing's perfect. I know people are probably pissed off about the stadium tickets, all that type of stuff. I know that StubHub and all them canceled everything, and that's just the way it is. Kind of a bummer. They canceled all their transactions, and just a bummer for everybody involved with that stuff. Man, get my route going here. Sorry about that, folks. But yeah, we're at the off-season time. You guys know one thing. I love the off-season. Off-season is the greatest. Well, it's the off-season grift time. How about that? I love it. It's gonna be fun. I'm still driving by. So Fernando they have a big, big tribute to Fernando. The stadium. It's a little messy, but it's still beautiful in its own way. I don't know what's going. Just all sorts of stuff happening outside the stadium. It's kind of weird. Definitely people selling a lot of stuff and everything was okay, but it is the off-season time. Hey, if anyone out there can tell me if you can thumbs up if you can hear me. Someone give me a thumbs up or something to say they can hear me. In the chat, that would be nice. I appreciate that. Hopefully, if you can't hear me, you'd say something. But it's the off season, and we've already seen Blake Snell has opted out. One of my okay, great. Thank you, Victor. Appreciate it. I hate going and doing stuff and it's no good. But hey, even Joe Rogan lost a mic the other day on something. So, and he's got all the money in the world to make it professional, and he still had a glitch. But yeah, it's only one bar. Yikes! But check out the video I did last before in spring training about signing Blake Snell. I think it's still relevant. He is a year older, but you also don't want to wait until the end of spring training to sign a pitcher. But the Dodgers, well, they need healthy pitching. That's for sure. They need healthy pitching, and that's what we need. And so I know the Dodgers are looking at addressing those issues too. There is something systematic that's a problem, and so I know they're going to work on that. Just way too many guys went down with Tommy John this year. It was kind of disgusting in a lot of ways, and I know the Dodgers, they don't like it. They don't want it to be like that. Aronetic, woohoo! They don't like all that stuff. They don't want those guys going down. They want healthy pitchers. They don't want to have to go through what they went through this season, but it worked out. I'm going to do a little weave. I mean, Dave Roberts, that was masterful. Anyone who doesn't, like they say, you don't know ball. That was a masterful performance, and yeah. That was masterful, and so props to Dave Roberts. That was just the best you could do, given the circumstances. And then it topped off. It was game freaking 5, reminiscent of Game 6 in the 2020 World Series, except they weren't ready for some of these things. They didn't have enough guns, basically. But heroic efforts from guys. Flaherty only got 4 outs, and then the other pitchers came in, and there was a lot of command issues. They were walking guys, so that didn't work out. And Trinan finally came in. He came in the 6th inning, and took down 7 outs to get to, you know, the our new guy, our new closer for at least one game, Mr. Walker Buehler. Oh, Victor, gracias. Yeah, my favorite play. Gosh, that was basic baseball, wasn't it? If you have played baseball or coached baseball, you just do this. And there's a video out there, small little video, and you're watching it going, huh, what's going on here? You know, and it had a kind of an innocuous title. Then it's like, oh, it's Will Smith. It's Will Smith saying every time there's a ball to the right side, get over. Just yelling it. You can hear him yelling it. Get over. Get over. That's fundamental baseball. And if you read that Yankee article, you know, about their fundamentals, they have a systematic problem there. They're not teaching well. They're broken. The Dodgers have well, it's also there's an issue too with what type of players you get. And the Dodgers, they want guys like Mookie Betts, Freddy Freeman, Shohei Ohtani. Those guys are your superstars, and those guys have the work ethic. They're there before everyone else. They're setting the tone. And you know, they're talked about, you know, Mookie working on balls that were, you know, to the corner, and there was 3 balls to the corner in the World Series or in the playoffs, I think, or something like that. And 2 of them he held the guys to singles, and 1 was end up being a double. But Mookie worked on the whole thing was him working on it till he perfected it. No one works harder than Mookie. And Clayton Kershaw's another one. He's always there early. We all know. Oh, goodness gracious. Some of these people are crazy. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm on Sunset, folks. Rest in peace. Yeah. That's all right. I'm not paying that much attention. Let's see. Yep, all eyes on the road. Yeah, I'm only looking over when we're stopping. They've got yeah, you got to have those types of players. And I know that, and I'll do a video on it. What about Juan Soto? That's a question, right? Juan Soto, and then whoa, some guy had a Verdugo jersey on they're doing crazy stuff on their bikes. Oh my gosh, they're oops, I'm missing my turn. Gosh darn it, I forgot about how this works. Usually I go a different way. Yeah, I don't know, the traffic or the crowd was full. It was game. It was really neat. And you know, it's good to see. I thought the Dodgers did a great job. And let's see. I'm being safe. Yeah, I did want the 2020 team to be here too. I thought that would have been nice, but you know, this team, it's a different team. It's a very different team than 2020, but still a lot of high character players. I mean, you know, one of the stars on the 2020 team was Corey Seager. And Corey Seager, let's see, I got to go to Figueroa. Gosh, people are taking the bus lane. Ugh. Gosh, they're darting in and out. I mean, it's crazy. So, yeah, I'm not going to be looking at comments unless I'm stopped. Like right now, I'm stopped. You're sick. I'm being safe. Yeah. So we've got offseason coming. Lots of questions. Both the Hernandezes, Kike and Teo. I look at stuff right now. I mean, just the emotion right now says, please sign them all. But that's not realistic. The Dodgers will have to make some tough decisions. And there might be some guys that might have to, you know, I know. So a couple of decisions, you know, like Kike took he took $4 million. Woo, that's for at least for me. And he took $4 million in the middle. Remember, in the middle of spring training, and I guess the Yankees were offering him something similar. But Kike, was able to fulfill so much this year for him. And man, crazy stuff going on here. Gosh, so much graffiti. Pay him a bit more. I'd like to see them just do a nice 2-year contract, but not too, you got to be, it's a business decision, but do something to keep him. I guess I'm going to have to drop in the bus lane in order to make turns since I missed my last one because I didn't get in the bus lane. I guess we just kind of make our rules as we go. So, and then Teo, gosh, I mean, it was very touching. I don't know if you could see it. He got emotional up there, talking about the championship. I mean, he got one of the biggest ovations. The team, Teo's loved, right? Let's see. Oh yeah. Can we keep the politics out, please? And so yeah, so Kamala. Now you got me, Kamala. We have Teo, and he wants to be a Dodger. I think we all would like him to be a Dodger. Then we see these rumors about Soto, and I just don't. I think I need to go this one. I always make this wrong turn. It's I think I got it right this time. Well, I think I did. Yeah, I got it right. They have to, do you want Soto? Is Soto the right guy? Soto is an amazing hitter. He's not the best outfielder, and he's seems to be gaining weight and losing some athleticism. I don't know how well he ages because I think he becomes a DH. If he doesn't stop, it's kind of like Jock Peterson, right? So that's where and Soto, they're talking 600 million, 700 million, whatever. He's not worth it. He's not worth it because he's not near as marketable as Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani is not worth 700 million just as a player. It's because of the marketability. They're making a profit off him already. It's going to turn out to be one of the best deals overall in Major League Baseball history. If he's got to stay healthy though, he's got to stay on the field. I haven't heard anything further about his left arm, right? Yeah, it was his left shoulder. Doc said in that one thing, hey, it's like he's playing with one arm, so it's like, hey, wait, time out on that. One arm. By the way, I'm parked at the moment. Hey, good name, Tim. I'm good. Yeah, Soto also isn't a pitcher. We get Shohei being as a pitcher again. So one of the things I'm going to do for the content in the offseason, I'm going to do some featured videos on players. And hopefully people watch that. And then we'll do a live where we'll talk about that player. Or maybe we'll talk about multiple players that I do videos on. But I want to go and say, hey, here's what we're going to talk, here's some things we can talk about. This is so tricky here. Here's some, players we could talk, but I'll do little shorts, like I did I did some of that last offseason, especially with the Snell video. It was about, 10 minutes long. And so something like that, I'll do some pros and cons. I'm also talking about maybe doing some stuff with some people where we do some debates on players. Where we take a side and go, Willy Adames. I know there's a lot of people like Willy Adames, and maybe I have an opinion, and maybe I'll debate somebody, from another channel or something like that to go, hey, or somebody on my channel, somebody, some of my staff, and we can go back and forth on a player and make our case. Just to get some discussion, get some background on some of the players. But I think the first one is, who are we keeping? And again, the emotion says, keep them all. Can we again get the politics and all that out, please? And if I have my moderators, I'd have them etch those out. So if Showtime LA or Mike Salas is out there, please do some, get rid of the politics, please. This is a baseball channel. Yeah, I would, I got real political opinions, but it's not for here. I leak them out sometimes, but it's more of as an afterthought. But hey, it's good to have things other than, hey, go vote. That's for sure. Let your opinion be known. Go vote. And but yeah, the Dodgers, man. I think they line up really good this for the next season. If you go, hey, what if we, we'll look at the I guess the first thing is we'll take a well, no, this is what I have an article I owe everybody. It's called The State of the Dodgers. So I do that every year. And so I'll start pounding that thing out. I really, I was thinking about writing it, and, starting before the playoffs started, but there's just too much emotion there, and I'm not trying to do that. That's not the, I don't want to write from emotion. I want to write from, as objective as I can. But I'm at the end of the day, I'm an editorialist. That was how I first started Dodgers Nation, as an editorialist. By the way, I met Doug, of course, Roger from Bleed Los, the Dodger Blue guys and all that. But I met a new guy from Dodgers Nation named Antonio. He's a really good guy. So he's been there since beginning of spring training. So really good guy. And remember, again, this year with spring training, it's going to be different because the Dodgers are playing in Japan. So I don't know how much spring training there is. I'm not even sure, how much am I going to go this year? I really didn't want him to do that again, but you know what? It all worked out for them. And it would, and now from an unselfish perspective, Yamamoto versus Imanaga. Are you kidding me? Or Shohei Ohtani against Imanaga? That would be amazing. And Japan had what? I think they averaged 12 million viewers of the World Series. So Japan is engaged. I mean, Japan loves Shohei Ohtani. They love their players, and they should. They had the Yamamoto versus Darvish matchup, which I know did really well, and as well it should. That was a great matchup, and it was even better because the Dodgers won. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I wanted to see most importantly. But, oh, dang, I got some ice in my mouth. Sorry. Slipped through. When I stop next time, I'll show the Dodgers we're selling some 2024 championship cups. Hopefully they get a lot of those for opening day and everything else associated with that. Highly recommend going to opening day this year. I haven't gotten my tickets yet. I know I won't be able to get a media pass because I'm not that big. Well, I'm here. I'm stopped, so filled with Coke Zero. Waiting to make my left turn. Waiting. But yeah, get opening day tickets. But well, if you really can, go to Japan. I know people are looking at doing that. But get them for they play the Tigers, so that'll be Tarek Skubal against the Dodgers. That'll be a great test right at the beginning of the season. Oh, good job, Aeronetic. Yeah, it's gonna be those tickets are gonna be crazy, and they should. It's gonna be very historic. I mean, and I think Shohei Ohtani is obviously going to be very pleased to be doing that. Oh man, be careful, folks. These pedestrians got to be careful, zipping across in their electric scooters. So, Jack Flaherty's a case that we'll look at. I'm looking forward to discussing that one a bit. I mean, he was kind of interesting, wasn't he, in the playoffs? With extra rest, he was really good. With normal 4-day rest, he was in New York. Both those starts were bad, and when the stuff wasn't there, it was a tick below. I know against the Mets he was sick, but against the Yankees, and it wasn't cold. I was there. It was a really nice night. I was shedding stuff. I had a full-on winter jacket. I had a sweatshirt, and and then my Fernando jersey. I ended up just wearing the Fernando jersey. It was just so darn hot. By the way, I'm not going directly home. I'm gonna go to the Montebello Mall, to the Dodger clubhouse, looking for gear. My wife's she wants me to get some stuff, so that was good. We had a great time in New York. Short but sweet. God, we did walk downtown. Way too much weed. My gosh, there's so much there, and I actually got my throat's yucky now. Yeah, it was gross. Just way too much. You guys keep it in your house. Having it in the middle of that street, public use, that should be not so good. It's like you can't drink booze in public. You shouldn't be able to smoke weed in public or smoke cigarettes in public. All that stuff. Something that's impacting others is disgusting. All right, enough politics. And then who else we got? Blake Treinen. Again, so Treinen gave his arm to the Dodgers. He was only paid $1 million this year. They need to reward some of that. Now, because he did miss 2 years. But boy, was he so important. They're not winning this. There's a lot of people you can go, they're not winning. Everything really fell into place for this team to win. Including, hey, people say they got lucky. You know what? The luck was earned. Do the right things on the baseball field, and luck is going to go your way. We have a parking lot in the freeway. Just saying. I'm heading 10 east, and so the Dodgers made their luck. They're the ones that threw 24 shutout innings against the Padres, and I think into the Mets, right? Was that what it was, or was that no? That was just against the Padres. It's awesome. That was 24 innings of shutout ball. Padres forgot to hit the ball, and part of that was comes down to fundamentals and also having a level head. It's the character of your team. So let's compare leadership. The leadership on the Dodgers, from your top guys, the most visible guys, Freddy Freeman, Mookie Betts, Shohei, Ohtani, okay? The Padres, Manny Machado and Fernando Tatis and Jurickson Profar. Those were their voices. Their lead guys. Those are guys making, being leaders on the field and being the biggest knuckleheads too. You can't sustain that. I've talked about that about the Padres for years now. They should sign Justin Turner. They really should. But I think even if they did that, it's not going to work, because Justin's not a good player anymore. He's just, sorry folks, I'm sorry to say that, but he's not. He's not. He doesn't bring value, and that's part of it. Machado's, he had a really good last 2 months to get his numbers respectable. But he's becoming injury prone. Just like my friend said. He's not built for long term. So he's going to keep getting nicked up. And with Machado, that's their leader. That's their leader. They say it. You might as well call him the captain, but I think it's a huge mistake. I don't think he has leadership capabilities. I think he's an excellent player. I think he's probable Hall of Famer. Oh, there's some people waving Dodger stuff from the freeway bridges. That's very cool. I would turn around and show you, but that would be not so good. So that's the Padres, and I just don't know how they're going to address that. It just doesn't seem like they're capable of that. But the biggest for me, and this is coming at you as a fan. What the heck? Oh jeez. Oh my! It's motorcycle. It's a tri-motorcycle or whatever, and he's doing the stuff in the middle of the, going between lanes. That's insane. That should not. I hate that. That was dangerous. Well, I'm gonna do a quick. That's for the. Let's give the number one. Doyers! All right, had to do that. Fans are fired up, man. This was great. It's Walker Buehler. Gosh, I want to keep him so bad. He's that player that is a Dodger, in my opinion. That's for sure. He's got that Muncie thing, but the Dodgers got to find a way to take care of him. And when I do the video on this one of the things I'm going to bring up is what they did to him in 2021, because Scherzer couldn't go. They short-started him twice. And I think that really contributed to him falling apart. Again, he shouldn't have. So I think they're partially responsible for his injury. I'm just being honest with you, and I think they need to take care of that with the compensation. I think a solid base with he needs to have some incentives in there for sure, but he deserves a solid base. He is Walker Buehler. The dude's a World Series borderline legend. I mean, come on. 1 earned run in 19 innings? You want that guy on your side. And so I'm hoping Walker Buehler stays with the Dodgers somehow. Man, I can't imagine him on another team. And then there's some other guys. We know Hudson and Kiermaier retiring. Good for them. Go out on top. Hudson was, I think it was it Trinan that brought him up, and that was really cool. And it was Hudson was he was having forearm issues again, and so he was getting there, back to the Tommy John. That would have been the third one. And but he's retired. He gets to go out on top. I know, on the mound it didn't end well for him, and that kind of sucked. But it seemed like he probably wasn't going to be ready to be productive, or they wouldn't have had to go to Buehler. So that's a thought. I mean, he really struggled the last month. I think he just kind of ran out of gas. And but he was one of the mainstays of the bullpen all year, and so they're gonna lose some of that leadership. Hopefully Evan Phillips gets healthy. Still bummed that some of the guys couldn't be on the roster, and Evan Phillips being one of them. But I'm really, usually I'm like, hey, there's that 26 that won the World Series. The Dodgers aren't going to the playoffs, or they're not getting winning the division without the contributions of Gavin Stone, Tyler Glasnow, even River Ryan provided some real dynamic starts for them. So there's a lot of guys, even a Michael Grove who missed a lot of time, but he contributed during the season. He ate up some innings. He had a few good ones, a few stinkers, but the guy deserved, these guys were important. Even if you look at some of the guys that played, Nick Ahmed, he had a game-winning home run, right? And so there's a lot of those. There's a lot of guys that were very important that are no longer on the roster. And that's, that, but they deserve a ring, and they're very important. And even Nick Ramirez, not Nick Ramirez, the other one. There's Nick, that was the lefty. But he can't, these guys all need a ring. They all contributed. Clayton Kershaw says, I didn't do anything. Well, he was there for 7 starts. He burned some innings. Tried to go as long as he could. It didn't work out. And he stepped away, and he's having 2 surgeries. Surgeries. He's had 1 surgery to do 2 things. Well, I guess it's 2 different holes, right? It's his foot, and then he's also getting his knee cleaned out. So it's like, oh my gosh, he's doing that, and man, I got to make sure I'm going to the right spot here. Real quick here, Dodgers clubhouse. There we go. Checking Waze real quick. Okay. It's taking me, it's doing the Waze is doing the, hey, I'm going to take you all over the place. So I guess I'll go to the 710 to the 60 or something like that. It's really wide motorcycles, dude. I lost my train of thought. Jeez. Gosh darn it, that motorcycle bothered me. It really got to me. Oh, here goes Mookie Betts. Man, crazy what they're doing. Yeah, well, I'm I just had a brain fart, and I'm distracted now. Bullpen. And players that contribute. There's so many did. And so props to all those guys. Props to the 100,000 pitchers that the Dodgers went through. Innings had to be burnt. And, the whole Brent Honeywell thing. People, some it's little, hee-hee type thing. But, you had to have someone. The guys that pitched in Game 4 of the World Series took care of business. The game didn't work out. Huddy didn't do well. Honeywell didn't do well. Grove and Knack did. And maybe if they pitched a little more, that they would have had a chance of winning. They did 6 innings together and gave up a total of 2 runs. So that's a good thing, right? Oh man, I got to get over even further. Jeez. So with that going, those guys did their thing. I mean, Landon Knack and Ben Kasparias have to be considered for the rotation. You're gonna need, and they had it like I did at the beginning of the year. I had like 12 or 13 names of starters, and they ended up with 3. And I didn't have Ben on that list. I thought, oh, he's not ready yet. But Ben Kasparias made himself known in the playoffs. I think he did quite well. He's going to be a factor. I don't know if he's going to be a starter or reliever, but I think he's proven he's probably a major league pitcher. Landon Knack has too. He's a major league pitcher. Edgardo Enriquez is going to be somebody that is going to be in that bullpen next year. I don't know what he's going to be in terms of what he's going to have to earn some stuff, but it's just a matter of getting some command going. Ooh, I almost had a little collision right in front of me. Volvo and a Nissan. Yeah, Edgardo's he's throwing 100 plus. And so he's on his way. They seem to have real plans for him. And they were aggressive in promoting him. I like that. I know some of y'all on this channel really like that. What is that? And I do too. I want to be more aggressive with some of these prospects. The ones that have huge upside. You know, Zaire Hope. Let's promote that man fast. He's crushing it. He hits the ball really hard, really well. He's a guy we want to see get promoted and not waste some of these, you know, best of his best years withering in the low minors. He needs to start out the year in low A. He should end the year easily. I mean, if he has success at all, promote him to Double A. Push him. A very talented young man. And same with all these guys. Oh, there is a route change or a route change. Route. So I'm hoping to see, you know, more of what they did with Edgardo. And even Ben Kasparius he's 25, you know, he came out of college, right? But he was literally in low A in June of 2022. He got promoted a couple days after I interviewed him in June. But they were, you know, they got a little aggressive in promoting him, and I think that's great. Oh, shoot, I gotta get over. Gosh, this stuff's so tricky. It's just gotta let me in. Wanka. All right. Yeah, so I want to see more. I want to see them be aggressive with some of these guys, these big arm relievers. I know that, what's my guy? Sarin Lau, another guy that is, I think they're going to be aggressive. They were aggressive with him this year, and this is only his second year pitching. And, you know, he started the year, I think he was in low A, but he ended, or high A, then he ended the year in Triple A. And I think there's a lot there. They're going to need pitching. Duh. They're going to need a lot of arms. And I think the way they're starting pitching is going to be, it's going to take a little bit to readjust the system so that they're not breaking as much. So I'm assuming pitchers are going to break as much as they do now. And if we're going to have to do these bullpen games, we need to have some more guns and some more, you know, young arms that are healthy and hopefully not infected with this this disease called Tommy John surgery. Or whatever. I think, you know, Emmett Sheehan. No, who was it? Kyle Hurd, I think, was a shoulder. Yeah, I can't remember who else there was a shoulder with. Now my brain's just, yeah, obviously I don't have notes. But I do have traffic. Let's see, what else was there? What else in the offseason? There's going to be some trades, of course. I don't think they need to be as they don't need to do as many moves as they did last year. Last year they had to really fill in some spots. This year they have to go. What are they doing about James Outman? What are they doing about Gavin Lux? What's the future of those guys with the Dodgers? What's the future? You know, they have an option on Miguel Rojas, and Austin Barnes. I expect them to exercise those. And I expect Clayton Kershaw to exercise his $10 million option, or whatever it is, to pitch for the Dodgers in 2025. Oh my gosh. We are in November, folks. Happy All Saints Day. I know I said that earlier during something else. Happy All Saints Day. Dia de los Muertos is tomorrow, Day of the Dead. To all those who celebrate that. Well, All Saints Day is kind of the same thing. You're celebrating your loved ones that have passed away, or the saints, all that good stuff. It's all good. And then, Miggy Rowe, Austin Barnes, I think they're going to keep both of them. And, I think Barnes had a nice year. He only didn't even play in the World Series. But his presence is there. That guy's an important part of the team. He provides a leadership and still a mentoring, and just for Will to have another person to bounce stuff off of is a good thing. I'm at a stop sign. Oh yeah, Gonsolin, Dustin May. Gonsolin will be ready. Oh yeah, Dustin May will be ready, unless he has something else go weird with him. What is it? Is esophagus or something like that? Hopefully he's all right. Get Emmett Sheehan probably in the middle of the year, maybe. So the Tommy John stuff, as we just can't count on it. We thought we'd have Walker Buehler. It took, that was geez. He had the surgery because they waited so long in 2022. They tried to nurse it back in. Like, was it June he went down, then finally in September, it's Tommy John time. And that was, I think, if you need it, just get her done. Oh, it's Gavin Stone with the shoulder issue who's going to be out for the whole year. But how important was Gavin Stone to this team? There's a lot of y'all that wanted to get rid of him and or just to give up on him. But I'm just, well, it wasn't his elbow. The shoulder might even be worse. I don't know. That's a tough one. It's a tough. I'm not a doctor. Gavin Stone provided a lot of quality starts for the Dodgers. If he didn't flub up a little bit right near the All-Star game, he might have even been an All-Star. But he had a really good season and was one of the top rookie pitchers in baseball. But they're going to have so many guys they're going to put on the injured list they have to pull. So it gets weird. All the guys become free agents. All the people that are on the 60-day and the injured list, they all come off. So they all coming off like today or something, or tomorrow, whatever it is. They're all popping off. So now they have to get down to 40, and then they need to adjust their roster because they've got the 40. In mid-November, they have to finalize a 40-man roster for the Rule 5 draft, which is always a crazy thing. They got to figure out who they're going to keep on the roster for that, and who's going to be promoted up. They're going to have to make some decisions on that. With Edgardo, that's already done. But, Diego Cartay is still on the 40-man roster. James Outman is on the 40-man roster. They'll have some tough decisions today. Dang it. Sorry about those little blips there. But I'm going through the things that I'm going to be talking about over the next 2 months. We got the winter meetings that are in Dallas. I think Doug McCain said they're the 9th through the 12th. I would love to do that. But I think I blew my, quote, fun money, more than fun money, on going to the World Series, and I would do that again. That was an experience. I've waited a long time for that, and so if you can ever get to that point where you have that opportunity, and it might mean you got to work a little overtime, which I'm going to probably do a little overtime to make up for it, or give up, say, hey, no Christmas for me, or whatever. I would do it again. I have learned. So just old man wisdom for you. Experiences are way better than physical gifts, and going out for this trip was worth it. I'm exhausted. Tomorrow I'm doing not much. I might do another live. I'm stuck. So Brazier can't be exposed to the Rule 5 draft, but they could move on from him, even though he does have $4.5 million. They could release him, or they could trade him. He had a lot of good moments. It seemed like by the end of the year, though, he was giving up a lot of long balls. and that did happen. I'm not denying that, folks. I'm not minimizing that at all. He was giving up some long balls. He did. I think did he give up 2 home runs in the World Series? Maybe it was in the playoffs. Interesting fact: Blake Trinan in the playoffs led all Dodgers in strikeouts with 18. The hit leader in all of baseball for the playoffs, Tommy Edman. What an acquisition. And of course, what are they going to do with Michael Kopech? Are they going to have him be a reliever? Are they going to let him have a chance to start? He's getting to free agency, and I think he believes he's a starter. The Dodgers might be able to make him into something very effective, or maybe some type of a hybrid, which would be interesting, because they're going to need some flexibility in the pitching. Again, with Ohtani, with, if I don't know if they're going to try to go 5-man rotation with Yamamoto. I wouldn't. I'm not taking a chance with his health. They got to figure that out. Yeah, and just figure out how they're going to do this bullpen stuff. Again, having the bullpen available to do a bullpen game is kind of cool. Ooh, the hat. That's an important thing, for sure. They can to be able to go, hey, we're all of a sudden my starting pitcher had to leave in the 2nd inning. He didn't have it, or someone got hurt, and you can fill those things in. Anthony Banda. What? Dude was awesome. He was awesome. He's not going anywhere. Hopefully he can replicate it. And Alex Vesia keeps getting better and better. He did struggle in that last game of the World Series with his command, because he was a guy that I was hoping would go more than an inning. That was where I was a little shocked the way that Doc managed that. I don't know if he knew what he was going to do in the 9th to get there, but some of that's luck, some of it's dumb luck, and sometimes there's a Walker Buehler that bails you out a little bit. And Walker is, back in 2017 they tried to make him a reliever to go into the playoffs, and he wasn't a good reliever. Wasn't working out, and so he was not. They didn't put him on the playoff roster because he just wasn't really making any headway. Maybe they just should have tried him as another starter, but whatever. That he should have probably been on the roster over like a couple other guys. I'm not gonna name names today. Feeling good still. But yeah, the bullpen's obviously something that matters as starters go less and less. If we can get some starters going to throw more, that'd be awesome. Like Garrett Cole going out and trying to throw 7, that's going away. I don't like it. I actually really like my starting pitchers on my team to go deep and be a guy that you can go, hey, we're gonna bring in blah blah blah, and they're gonna go and dominate a little bit, or be really good for 6, 7, 8 innings, or hopefully even 9. But it's such a rarity to get complete games, and I'm gonna have to dive in here soon. Oh boy, this is bad. This is bad. Oh man, they got my spot. Let's see here. Yeah, this sucks. Oh, I should have grabbed that spot. I gotta get over, or else I'm gonna end up taking a detour. I'm not gonna go cut someone off too tight. This is sucky. I'm gonna. Yeah. Shoot. I'm gonna go around. I'm not gonna screw someone over. Let's get right back on the freeway. So yeah, the bullpen just got to keep building it up again. Just the way it is. And then the starters just need, I don't know what they're going to do. But you just have to have a lot of quantity but so much of that quality is gone. That's part of the problem. It's just gone. So there's no return from some of that stuff. Oh shoot, I'm in a left-hand only. Dang it. Oh, I'm screwing up here. I'm just in unfamiliar territory. So I gotta go back around, do a U-turn or something. Screwing up. Well, Waze just keeps me going, so that's fine. And then let's see. Let's go through the positions. Catcher, we're good. We got Will Smith for another 9 years. We're going to probably have Austin Barnes. We have Hunter Veducia, Diego Cartaya. Don Rushing, he's coming, but probably is an outfielder. First base, we have Freddy Freeman. He is 35. But we have Max Muncy also. And we might have Kike Hernandez. Second base, that's a good question. I wouldn't not expect Mookie Betts to be their second baseman. I think if Gavin Lux didn't have that spurt before Mookie came back, that Gavin Lux would have been optioned and Mookie Betts would have been the second baseman and not the right fielder. Let's see. Shortstop, right now it's Tommy Edman. That is the starting shortstop. But will they give Gavin Lux a chance? Edman can play all over the place. He can play anywhere. That's a nice flexibility with him. That's a nice flexibility with Mookie between second and let's see, between second and right field. So I expect Tommy Edman to be the starting shortstop, with Gavin Lux being given an opportunity to be there. Third base will be Max Muncy. Nolan Arenado's not an option, folks. I'm just leaving that right there. Left field is open right now. Dalton Rushing, Chris Taylor. That's who's there. I think I don't need to be in this lane. I think I'm being stupid. I can go straight. Center field, well, James Outman is back. Will be back. Andy Pages could play outfield. I do predict it's Pages in right with Mookie at second. That's my prediction. Having that type of production at second base is awesome. I mean, you got a guy that can hit, 30 plus home runs. Oh, neat churches around here. Yeah, if you can get that type of offense from your second baseman, that's just awesome. And then it gives you a wide open outfield. Pitching, there's just so much. So we'll be doing all sorts of breakdowns. I'm still trying to get to them all. It says I'm 16 minutes away. Man, yeah, I'm heading to try to get some World Series gear. I bought a little bit at Dodger Stadium. It's way overpriced. Like, one of the hats was, 50 plus at Dodger Stadium, but it's 40 online. So I'm hoping there's some better price. Even though I bought some of that stuff, but my wife wants a couple things, and I want to get some more stuff too. And it's exciting. This is I bought a lot of stuff with 2020 and enjoyed the heck out of it so much. But I enjoy this more because I got to be there. The fans were there. We got to have the celebration. So I will admit, I enjoyed it more. But 2020 was such a huge relief, and I don't minimize it. It was a real world championship. Everyone had the same rules. Everyone wanted to win it. Every fan base wanted to win it. There were a few exceptions. There's a few guys I know that said it doesn't count, and they said it before the season. They didn't say it when their team got eliminated like most Padre fans. It counted until they got eliminated. So, that's that. You don't get to play that game. That's cheating. And I wrote it before the season started. it's somewhere in my Twitter before the season started in 2020 that this season would count. And I lived and died through that thing. It was a relief to have baseball, given what was going on. And I was very thankful that we had baseball, even in a, not the ideal way. But, now we got some of these stupid rules that they've added. To me, it changes the game. But still counts. That's the rules that were there. And if you don't like the rules, then you don't have to count it. You can go and say, well, I'm done. And I've looked at that a couple times going, hey, I'm going to be done pretty soon. They keep changing the rules like baseball anymore. But I still love it. I think that there's so many exciting players and, the talent. Obviously, the skill levels keeps growing. Man has gotten bigger. We keep, the athletes are getting bigger, and they're amazing. They're amazing to watch. It's but still, I love it when the real skills. So Tommy Edman, right? That's not a big boy. I doubt he's my height. But he's able to bring other things, and he brought some power too. I mean, the dude had an excellent postseason, and he eventually did walk. He actually drew 3 walks, but for a while I don't think he walked through the first two series. I think he got all those walks against the Yankees. So which is funny, but he has, being able to lay down a bunt, being able to make good plays, do the base running, all those types of things, being able to just execute and be a player that you can count on is an awesome thing, and is valuable. And the Dodgers, you need those types of guys. The Yankees choose talent over execution, and that's a mistake. And they have a group there that isn't that good defensively. Now some of them are going to be gone. Gleyber Torres is going to be gone. Alex Verdugo. Alex made some nice plays in left field against the Dodgers for sure. But yeah, he's also going to be featured in Dodger highlights for years to come as the last out of the 2024 World Series. And his little smack talk about 2020 is well going to be. Norm's in the house. I just was stopped, so Norm's starting to talk about money. Yeah, Cohen is going to spend. I think that's a mistake on the Mets' part. They've wasted a lot of money. Now they can afford to waste money. I get it. But it's still taking roster spots. And I think there's a mixture that you need. You need people that you want your stars. And I think he has to decide if he wants to keep Pete Alonso. I think he should. I think he fits so well there. And I do think Juan Soto fits well with the Yankees. They're good with him, I guess, being a crappy defensive player, because they tolerate that all over the place. But if he's tolerating that from himself, if you're a free agent, why would you not want to go to the Dodgers? Right? Why would you not want to go to the Dodgers? It's the team. First of all, they are the world champs. They are also a team that really knows how to treat its stars correctly. But in return, I think it expects them to behave correctly. We're not going to, I think they tried the Trevor Bauer route. No matter what you believe, it didn't work out. That we can say, because he's not on the team, and he's just not on the team. That didn't work out. Julio Urias is gone. They gave him a second chance, and he spit in their face. So they're going to be looking for higher character people. Some people go, oh, Kopech, but he did some couple, just some weird relationship stuff that did make. My wife knew who he was. I was shocked. The way so he has some history, but he's also a man who has changed his ways. At least it says he has. So I'm going to go with that. And so I think that is always a possibility, to change your ways and be a better person. He's a Christian now. Oh, thank you. High character people. Some people are going to go, well, Blake Trinan's a blah, blah, blah. Blake Trinan's a man of character. You may not agree with him. He's a man of character. And he was one of the leaders of that bullpen. I've seen him in action. So I saw, it was in 2021. I was there, and I was kind of looking at watching the bullpen, and he was working with Bickford, and just being there, talking to him as Bickford was throwing his bullpen. And there were some people kind of bothering him, and Blake Trinan was standing up for him, for Bickford, and saying, just leave him alone. He's trying to do his work, that type of stuff. It's something like that. I'm getting the fine details wrong, but basically he was just being a really good teammate and helping Phil Bickford to get his work done and do it well. And so, and you saw the results of what Trinan's done. I know he that shoulder surgery, he delayed it in 2022. He thought God healed him, but the Dodgers didn't want him to have the surgery anyway. This is my guess, because then it would have been an automatic, waste of money, because he would have been out. They were hoping that he could come back. That's what they were trying to do in 2022. He thought he felt healed enough. He tried. He was okay. He did throw in the playoffs. He gave up a run against the Padres. 2023, and then after that he did have his surgery, so he missed all of 2023. He tried to come back. Him and Walker Buehler, remember, were both rehabbing, but neither one of them were ready to come back to the team in 2023. So Trinan, but you need guys that are firm in their beliefs, including work ethic, character. Say, I have lines that I'm not going to cross. So you want that. You can. And Freddy Freeman just, I don't know. He oozes righteousness. Just the way he is a father, as a husband, as a man, and he's also someone you can count on. He really wants to play every day, and his own dad tried to talk him out of playing. Because he was concerned about him, because he was working so hard, and he was, injury, 3 injuries. He had his fingers that were recovering from a finger from a fracture, and he had the foot or the ankle, and then he had, it turns out, some rib injury. Good gracious, what the heck? So that was that was just amazing that he was able to come back from Paramount. I'm almost there. I'm getting hungry too. And Freddy Freeman had one of the best postseasons or best World Series we've ever seen. Heroic home run, 4 home runs, 12 RBIs. Well, it's really RBI. 12 RBI if you were to be really perfect. I don't want Jeff Snyder or Eric Steven coming after me. By the way, I hung out with Eric Steven a little bit today, just chatted a little bit. That guy provides some of the best information. True Blue was it trueblue.com? truebluela.com. Eric Steven. But his Twitter handle, just Eric Steven, he provided so much great information, like for relief pitchers and their usage all year. Fantastic information. And I appreciate his work. So make sure you're following him. Of course, Jeff Snyder is one of the top baseball brains out there. Yeah, and then so yeah, you need these really solid, firm dudes that are leading your team, and not some squishy guys like the Padres have. They're just too busy, focused on their own little things, and that's one of the reasons I really like Kike. Yes, he has a lot of fun, a ton of fun, but at the end of the day, that dude's just serious. He's a good base runner. He's a good fielder. He knows he's there in the playoffs. I don't care if he hits during the regular season. If you get the Kike playoff guy, you're in good shape. It's funny, he didn't even hit a home run in the World Series, but he had his moments all season or all postseason. Remember, it was against Darvish. It was he and Teo, the Hernandez brothers, that provided the work, the home runs. Let's see, what do I have to do here? Oh, okay, got it. Reading Waze real quick. Stop sign, what do I got going on? You like Beefree? Bickford? Yeah, don't wait to the last minute, Aeronetic. GMs knew those players were flawed. Soto's generational leader, mid-20s, platinum level client. So he knows it. Soto's clearly the best. Yeah, he is easily the best free agent out there, but he's also not a moneymaker like Shohei Ohtani. So if he gets $700 million, they really think that he's going to provide $700 million in value over those, call it 14 years or whatever he's going to get. And that it's pure baseball value. He's not bringing in a bunch of fans. Let's put it that way. Shohei Ohtani brings in a whole country. Let's hope Kike comes. Kike should come back next year. And again, these guys that really want to be Dodgers, you have to have that talk with them and figure out, hey, how do we do this? Because I think Kike is the guy that, to be honest, I think he'd someday be a great announcer or something like that. I think, or that, because he's just very, just really talented. Not just an announcer, but maybe he's a coach. Maybe he's a future manager. I don't know. Maybe he's a GM. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it. He's a really smart guy. Oops, Tim made a bad turn. Oh well, I'll be all right. He just a really smart guy, and I would value him in the organization. Same with Miggy Rowe. A guy like Jack Flaherty saying he never wants to leave. Okay, well, what could we do, Jack Flaherty, so you don't have to leave? Can we balance the contract a bit? Because the Dodgers really need to find a way to keep some pitchers. That's for sure. Oh my gosh, it's like Christmas tree lots going up. All right, that's right. Today, Mariah Carey has emerged. Either dig in or plug your ears. I dig in. I'm a fan. I am a fan of her Christmas music. I love Christmas music. Love Christmas time is one of my favorites. Because it's also the winter meeting, which is it's kind of like the trade deadline. It's that most wonderful time of the year. It's going to be hot this year, of course. Soto's going to be the big one. And Boris is going to hold out as long as he can. All right. I am exiting. Let's see. Yeah, Bobby, I agree on Jack. I mean, he seemed real quick before we go. And I mentioned it earlier, but Flaherty seemed to do really well when he had the extra rest at the end of the season, right? But then when he was on 4 days, he really struggled. And so I think there's something there. I think he was a bit tired. His velocity had kind of gone down. Remember, the Yankees backed out of his contract because he had some type of back thing. I think he could have all at it. But if you look at it, I would take his game 1 against the Mets and the Yankees. Those were really well pitched games. I know his last thing was to Stanton, and he gave up the 2-run shot. But overall, he threw really well in those 2 games and was a real asset to the team. Burning those innings mattered, folks. It really mattered. So, on that note, I will. Yeah, Aeronetic, we gotta. Yeah, let's figure that out. We'll do something. I never did a meetup this year. I talked about it. Things got so busy. I want to do it at Rancho, and or maybe at Dodger Stadium. I don't know. I know Clint had one, but it's expensive to go to Dodger Stadium. It's a real pain in the butt to go. I mean, I love going there, but dang, it's expensive. So, all right, I'm gonna head out. Man, 2024. You know what? Just because the celebration ended today doesn't mean it has to stop. I'm celebrating. I'm gonna enjoy this, and for me, as a person who lives in San Diego, I'm going to be wearing championship gear as many times as I can. I need to find me a couple of polos with the World Series champion on it for work, in church, all that stuff. I'm gonna enjoy the heck out of this one. They can say whatever they want. I mean, we know what you guys bought your championship. Okay, you say what you want to say. At the end of the day, the Dodgers are right now, they're the best run organization in baseball. They keep rebuilding their farm system. They keep making smart money. Their money has been well spent. That's the difference on some of these things. Their superstars are the superstars for a reason. They're paid like it, but they earn it. If Freddy didn't play another game for the Dodgers over the next 3 years, that he earned his money. Everything he did, he had his 2 best seasons in 2022 and 2023, and then he had the World Series of a lifetime. He had a World Series that you could just dream about. So, all right, folks. Yeah, it's true about the winter meetings. Norm's right about all that stuff, but it's kind of that time where things are going to happen. And, as we saw this last year, right? Boris held everything out because of, was it Bellinger, Chapman, Montgomery, and Snell. Soto. So the good thing, like with the Dodgers, unless they really have a plan to go, we want Soto like they had with Shohei, they're going to do their winter as if that ain't happening. But if it does happen, they'll go, thank you. Somehow Soto falls to them, they're going to be very happy if they get him. But they're not going to get into that. They're not going to hold up everything. They're not going to go, oh, we're going to not get Teoscar because we're going to wait for Soto. I don't think they would do that. So I think they would deal with those ramifications later, which is fine. So, all right, folks, thanks for hanging out. I know it was a long, kind of boring in some ways, rambling. Oh, yeah, 2019 is so right. And then Fried and Burns are big ones. Snell's still with, and so is Burns. He's with Boris also. Fried, I think, is with someone else. I hope he is. For his own sake. Every pitcher is a question mark. And by the way, I need to step up some things. I'm looking at doing some shirts. I'm going to adjust the logo a little bit more, and I'm going to try to up my game so I can do more shows with other people. on my channel. The Zoom call, the way it works, is terrible. I hate it. The background gets all funky, and it's just not very good. So I want to do better with that. So by the way, I'm parked now. I got the engine running because then, keep the air conditioning on. But another fun show. As always, I really appreciate you all. I don't have my thing to do, but the Lord bless you and keep you. May His face shine upon you, and all that good stuff. Thank you so much. As always, God bless, and go 2024 World Champion Los Angeles Dodgers. Bye.